Greetings Internet and welcome to Aaron Plays, and I hope you're doing fantastically well. This will be a further episode in my mission 3 of Ambush, which is occurring on a wet, misty morning in Belgium in 1944 on a quiet sector of the front. And now we've got the rumble of tanks and the approach of German infantry. So yes, so if you haven't watched the previous 2 episodes, I suggest you do so, because then you know about what my squad's got in it and weapon capabilities, etc. But let's go down to the map and see what's going on. So we've completed the first action round in the previous video, and just as a brief recap, we have a German Panzer IV here, we have 3 German infantry here, and my squad sort of in this area here. I need to get, there's 4 victory points sitting over there. I'll claim the 3 that were here. I'm currently on 9 victory points. I need 25 to win, and I still don't know what the wind condition is. Visibility is 6 hexes. So this tank is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can't see the building. I've got a bazooka in here. I'm thinking maybe fall back. Let the tank come on. It hasn't got any infantry support, unless you consider this as infantry support for it at some later stage. So that's the plan. We'll go through the turn sequence. And the first thing happens, we are going into round 2, and it's a perception check for all the soldiers on the map. Most of them had perception checks. Well, in fact, they all had perception checks last turn due to the noise of the tank. There were a couple that failed. So we've got Bell, who was the first one that failed. Oh, he wasn't the first, but he failed. His perception is 6. So I'm going to put, there we go. Dice on camera there, can you see that? Right, so his perception is 6. He rolls a 5, so he is now available. Then we have Dylan, who's got a perception of 3. Yep, he's now available. And that just leaves good old Hudders, who's got a perception of 1. Come on, Hudders. No. He's even got Fraser standing next to him, says, there's a tank, and Hudders going, game over, man, game over. Let's bring us back to there. Okay. So that's perceptions. We now have an event. Okay, 7 and 4 is 11. So 11 on the event table gives us what? Oh, it says S1 143. So 143. All right. Change over to the reading glasses. 143. If your radio's manned, which it is, because Ambrose has got it, see 178. 178. Right. It says S1 in brackets, so we now have sighting 1. That doesn't sound too good, does it? Sighting 1 is now active. Battalion HQ reports that a German offensive was underway. No shit, Sherlock. Abandon positions. Delay enemy at discretion. You receive 2 victory points per active US soldier exited between hexes A13 and A19 inclusive. Okay, so we've got the orders to withdraw. VPs are not lost for incapacitated soldiers to exit through these hexes. You receive VPs for destroying the bridges. Wooden bridges, 2 VPs. Stone bridges, 4 VPs. Both bridges, 10 VPs. See paragraph 1000 for bridge destruction procedure. The mission ends when no active US soldiers are on the map. Note this paragraph number on your squad record for future reference. Wow. 178. Well, I better find out how to blow a bridge, because that's 10 VP sitting there, which would take me to 19, which is still not a win. Okay. So 1,000. Ooh. A stone bridge can be destroyed in two ways, with a bazooka or with a satchel charge. To destroy it with a bazooka, you must achieve a heavy penetration against it. The fire modifier is +4 when firing at the bridge. Ignore the other terrain in the hex. I haven't got satchel charges. Okay. It takes 1 turn. Yeah, it goes on. But the wooden bridge may be destroyed in 3 ways. With a satchel charge, haven't got. With a bazooka, or with fuel. Ah, the fuel dump. The satchel charge procedure is the same as with a stone bridge, except only 1 charge is needed. The bazooka procedure is exactly the same as that for a stone bridge. To burn the bridge down, a soldier may get fuel from the dump in L10. Each can requires 1 portage box. The soldiers must then move across the bridge. Once crossed, he or another soldier adjacent to the bridge may start the fire by spending 1 turn automatic in operations. The fire burns for the duration of the mission. Wow. Okay. But if I take out both those bridges, that is still only 10 VP. So how do I get to the other 6, even if I take out both bridges? Well, to win, there's 4 still sitting at the top there. However, there's a tank in the way, and I have received orders to disengage. Maybe I can outflank the tank, come around the top. It's got no infantry support. Okay, is winning that important? Oh, I don't know. Okay, well, let's see what happens. Okay, so we're into the action phase. So I've got to roll for initiative. So there's the die roll area. Initiative. I get a 4. Jerry gets 6. So they win the initiative. Okay. So with... I'm going to do the Germans first. The 6. Alright, let me just move the camera a little bit. Boop. Onto here. With a 6, thankfully the tank only gets 1 action. Nickel Gruber with a 6, he gets 2. Matthias with a 6 gets 1. Lars with a 6 gets 1. Right, myself with a 4. These 2 guys only get 1. Only get 1. Only get 1. G gets 2. We've got to check for his command control. He's within 2 hexes of Bell, so that's fine. And Hudson is still unaware of what's going on. Okay, move the camera back to the situation. Alright, so most are only getting 1 action this round. The German activation number is, that's an 8. Okay, so we're into round 2. Visibility is still 6. The Germans are using activation number 8. Resolve 1 action per soldier. So the first thing that will activate then is Nickel Gruber. Okay, so that's the German NCO who is here. And he's on activation 8. And we're in condition 2. So he's looking at paragraph 831. Well, what's he going to be up to? 831. If an active German in the same or adjacent hex, crouch and give a turn to the German with the fewest turns. Okay, so he is actually going to give a turn to Lars. So effectively they swap. Nickelgruber goes down to 1 action and Lars goes up to 2. Okay. Adjacent crouch and give a turn. So he does crouch and then gives a turn to Lars. Right, okay, so therefore we now go to Lars, who activation 8, condition 2 to 4, he does paragraph 809. Move as quickly as possible, fall prone after movement, spending a movement point to do so if necessary. Okay, so 809 is in S15. He's got 4 movement points. So S15 tells him to go to R14, which is, he joins Nickelgruber, and that's 1 movement point. Then in R14, he'll go to Q15 for 2 movement points. And in Q15, he goes to P15, so he joins Matthias, 3, and then in P15, he goes to O15, 14, 15. He hasn't got the movement points, it costs 2 movement points, so he stops there, and then it says he crouches. Okay, so that's where he's at the present moment. And that completes his first action. We're then going over to Gibson. Now where is Gibson? He's here. Gibson, he can't drive. I was thinking of getting him into the Jeep, but he can't drive. Okay. So we know we've got to blow the bridge. The only person who's still unaware is Hudson, so everybody else can move. But it looks like we're going to get the tank moving first, which is a shame. Yeah. Okay. And we don't know what the tank's doing as yet. But I think I need to put someone around this area here. So that there. Let's do it off camera again. That's Gibson. So I think I want to put, just in case the Germans come this way, if we can get Gibson here, and then hopefully Bell can get 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. So Gibson goes 1. Remember, we don't do paragraphs at the present moment. 2, 3, and then crouches. He's only got 3 movement points, but that was a free change. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can actually see each other now, because there's no what do you call them? Escarpments in the way. So even though there's a slight rise in the ground, we can see each other. 1, 2, 3, 6. Didn't have enough to snap fire, but we can definitely see each other. Okay, so Gibson is done. Now we have the Germans, and they go in alpha order. So they're all sitting here. Okay, because they won the initiative. So let's focus on what they're going to do now. Now that they actually know my boys are around. Okay. So we're going to start with Lars. good point, new turn. I've got to roll a new German activation number, and the number is 0. Okay, so number 0 for Lars is 803. If active target visible. Okay, to Lars, there's an escarpment here, so there's no one visible, so that one doesn't apply. If no active target visible, run into open or crawl into other hex. So we've got to see where he's going. Now we know he's going to go into there, because that was, well, I better just double check. I don't think it changes it, because the condition hasn't changed, but it doesn't hurt to check. P15, yeah, he goes to O15, which costs him, so he's got to run in the open, so that's a positional change, that's free. He moves into there for 2 movement points. And now he's there again. This is blocking. So where does he go now? He's in O15. So he goes to N15, which is that wood there. And that's 4 movement points. That's brush actually, isn't it? No, that's a wood. That was brush, is still 2. And that was, yeah. Okay, going up the level doesn't cost anything unless there is an escarpment. He says, sounding very sure of himself, but he thinks he'd better double check anyway. Crest hex side is +1. Yeah, so that's the brown. No, that's a crest hex side. An embankment is +1, but just going up a level. Elevation change, hex side. There's no pluses on it. Okay, so it's just 1. Okay. So that's Lars completed. Next we have Matthias, who's in P15, on instruction 0. He's also on paragraph 803, so he'll be moving the same. So he will go 4, 2, and then 4. All right, Jerry's moving together. And then that's him completed. Then we have Nyman. No, it's not Nyman. Yeah, I knew I was going to keep doing it. It's Nickelgruber. Okay, so again the die roll's 0. He's pretty much repeating. So he'll be going, stand up for 1. Yeah, it's a shame that you don't get reaction fire. 2, no, stand up for 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4. I know this because we follow following the same paragraph. Okay, so that's all those boys done. Then we have the Panzer, which is over here. So let me just let's zoom in a little bit on that bad boy. There he is. Okay. So I've got a 5-man crew. Action is 0. It's telling me to look at paragraph 905. 905. If 2 or more active targets are in sight, button up. No one's in sight. If 1 active target is in sight, see 910. No one's still in sight. If no active target in sight, open. He's already open. If already open, see 906. Oh dear, it says drive vehicle fast. Conduct snap fire with bow machine gun at closest target. Prepare cannon, not prepared, is prepared because it enters prepared. So drive vehicle fast. Oh dear. Alright, so the Panzer has a movement out of 6 if it's moving fast. And conduct snap fire with bow machine gun at closest target. Okay, so it's currently in D4. Where is it go to for its first movement point? E5. It moves there for 1. I've lost my dice for marking movement points. There it is. So let's move there for 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It now has a visible target. I don't think that changes it though. So we know it's going to snap fire with the bow machine gun. When does that actually occur? Okay, so it will conduct its snap fire after moving half its movement allowance. If it moved more than half its movement allowance, it would do an accident check. So having the snap fire of the bow machine gun will ensure that it doesn't go half of its movement allowance. Okay, so we're currently in E5. Where does he move to next? F5. F5 there. Yep. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Oh, gold. That's 2 movement points. And then at F5. So he has stayed to the road. He moves to G6, which is there, which is 3 movement points. He's got 6, but he now snap fires, which is using half his movement allowance, so he doesn't move any further, and therefore he doesn't have to suffer an accident check, and he will fire 1, 2, 3, 4 on this building hex here. Now the bow machine gun is, I think it's a medium machine gun. Panzer German. Okay. It doesn't say on there, but I'm sure if I read the vehicle notes again. Open, close, occupants, speed, hit chart, armor size, vehicle facing, fire combat against vehicles. Right, okay. Accident checks. Vehicle running over soldiers, tanks. Snapfire bow machine gun. Target must be in front of the tank, which it is, but doesn't tell me what it's firing with. So let me check. The bow is a medium machine gun, so let's zoom out a little bit. Now it's zooming in, silly. All right, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4 hexes away. It's a bow medium machine gun. So what are we looking at here? All right. It's doing a snapshot, so there's a 10% chance that this weapon jams. Where are we going to put me dice? Because I want to keep this close enough so I can just go boom like that. Right. So there's a 10% chance this weapon jams. Remember, reds are 10s. He fires. 0-4. He jams. Yay! 0-4. Okay, so I presume there must be a counter for that for me to note that at the present moment the medium machine gun is jammed on that tank. There isn't. Okay, I'm gonna put a little mark. I'm going to note that. All right, the tank. So it opens fire and the gun jams, so it goes no further. And that will conclude the tank's action, which I am immensely happy about. Now the question is, it's all my guys go now, we're all sitting over here. Do we take a shot with the bazooka? We've got to blow the stone bridge, but if we knock out that tank, that will be immensely satisfying. It's a range of 4. So we have got Fraser with the bazooka at 4 hex range. What does he need to hit? That is short range for the bazooka, 2 to 4. He needs a 5 to hit. Now it is a large vehicle in the clears +3, so it takes it to a +3, so it takes it to an 8. Not snap fire, so if you actually have an aim shot, it's an 8. You know what, I don't think I'm going to get a better opportunity. The mist is just not narrowing the range of, it's not interfering with the shot. So I need an 8 or less to hit the tank with the bazooka. Where did it hit? Okay, this is exciting, isn't it? Okay, so we're looking at the bazooka chart. Sorry, not the bazooka chart. Ah, I should have checked for dud as well. Yeah, it works both ways. It was 0 to 5 and it's a dud. Oh dear. 84. It's not a dud. Right, let's go back. Okay, fire the bazooka. It's a hit. Then there's a hit table. It's coming from the front. So if I can show on here, don't get into focus. No. Okay, so 0 to 1 is I hit the tread. 2 to 6 I hit the body. 7 to 9 I hit the turret. That's what we're basically saying there. And it's open. Oh, it's OP. What does that mean? It's open. So 0 I hit the tread. 1 to 4 the body. 5 to 6. 7 to 9 I hit the crew. Okay. So there's a chance of hitting the crew here. I don't care where it hits. It's hit. It's a 2. So on a 2 on the front, we've hit the body. Okay. So if the body is hit and the penetration result equals or exceeds the armor rating for the hit, the tank is for the side hit. The tank is disabled. Turret is hit. If the turret is hit and the penetration equals or exceeds the armor rating for the tank is disabled. If the result is lower than the armor rating, the coaxial machine gun. All right, that's if I hit different parts of the body. So if I hit the body, which I've done, we then check for penetration. So the bazooka has a penetration of 0 to 4 for light, 5 to 7 for medium, but the turret on this is 8 to 9. It is, the body is heavy armor. Okay, so I need an 8 or a 9 to get through. Come on. Come on. Do we do any collateral damage on the crew? We might be doing some of that. But first of all, we've got to see if we actually penetrate the armor. 8 or a 9. Come on, big boys. Rerolled a 3. Okay, so it didn't get through the armor, but did it affect the crew? Nope, the crew aren't affected. So in other words, it did nothing. Oh man, so it hit it, it just bounced off its armour. And that is good old Fraser done. And consumed 1 ammo. One of those precious bazooka ammos. And he would have to prepare it again. Remember, Dylan is still going, game over, man, game over. So, okay. That was a bit disappointing. I thought it might have done ASL terms with collateral damage on the crew, but it didn't. It just literally bounced off the armour. Where's Dylan? Dylan was on the window, so it's there, there, there. Dylan could fire his Browning at the crew. It's a range of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll tell you what we're going to do. Bell is going to give Dylan an instruction to fire. So that's actually Bell's activation, which gives Dylan 2 activations with that Browning. So a range of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, can we aim just at the crew? That's a good question, isn't it? You know, can we right, fire combat again. When firing revealed, the base hit chance is modified. When open, each tank has 3 crew members exposed if there are 3 or more crew in the tank. If a crew member is in an open tank is hit. Okay, so I've still got to try and roll another crew. So I'm only going to be able to hit the crew. Yeah, doesn't penetrate, won't penetrate. And against an open topped, I'll only be hitting the crew on a 7 to 9. If a tank crew is hit, reduce the crew by 1. If hit by aimed automatic weapon fire, reduce the crew by 1 and continue rolling for additional hits. I think it's worth a punt if we can reduce the crew. So the Browning, it's not a snap fire, he's going to take an aim shot. Okay, automatic rifle, it's a 5% chance. 0.6, just okay, so it doesn't jam. Okay, so Dylan has a weapon skill of +2. Large target +3 is +5, and a hit with the automatic range is 5. So this is automatic because he's got +2, +5. Okay, so I don't need to roll for. So now we're just rolling for location, and we want 7 through 9 to affect the crew. 7 through 9. We roll a 5. That is hitting the body of. No, it's hitting the turret. If the turret is hit and the penetration result equals or exceeds, it can't. The best penetration I can get is light with a automatic rifle. Yeah, it's light. And the turret requires from the front heavy. If the result is lower than the armor rating, the coaxial machine gun is destroyed, but the tank is not disabled. The turret is hit and the penetration results equals or exceeds the armor rating for the side hit, the tank is disabled. The result is lower than the armor rating, the coaxial machine gun is destroyed, but the tank is not disabled. Okay. So I've still got to roll 4 penetration, which is 4 to 9. Roll a 1, so I don't even knock out the coaxial. Darn it! And then see if I consume ammo. At 16, he does consume an ammo because it's a 50% chance. So he's just shot his wad into that tank and did nothing. So that's Dylan's first action. Do I do that again? I'm now loitering. I don't really want to fight a tank. Do I? So the answer to that question is no. I think we need to pull away. All right. So Dylan's second action, which we'll do now, is to get out of dodge. So he does his free stance change. Got the camera. So we're firing, and then we have got the Jeep. Who's the best driver we've got? Evans. Where's Evans? Way up the top here. Okay. After Evans, Hudson, Bell, Ambrose. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we don't want to be facing that, so actually I'm not going to do Dylan's second action. I'm going to start with Evans up here. So he's going to do a stance change for nothing, that's free, and then moves 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's Evans. Ambrose, free stance change. He will go 1, 2, 3, 4 into the building. So we've got, where's Cornwall? He's over here. Okay. What's Cornwall's drive? Oh, God, it's only 2. Okay. So we want to go engage these German infantry, or do we? I mean, the orders are to get off, but I think to get off, we're going to need to engage these infantry without getting too close to that tank. So we're going to move next. Cornwall. All right, he's not going to drive, so he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and change into a crouch at that position there. That's Cornwall done. Hopefully I'll win the initiative next round. Would be nice to win the initiative occasionally. Okay. Dylan. Oh, Bell hasn't got any actions, but Dylan. His drive. His drive's not too bad, it's 4. So he can go 1. Is that a window there? It is. 2, 3, into the vehicle. I think entering a vehicle is just 1. Yeah. So Dylan, as his second action, gets into the Jeep. Okay, and that's him done. Which just leaves Gibson, who's just off camera there. He can't see any of these dudes. I think we'll have him go to the fuel. So 1, so stand him up. 1, 2, back into crouch. And that's it for my guys. So that is the end of the second action phase. Third action phase in, so let's just zoom out a little bit. Okay, so I'm all over the place here, higgledy-piggledy. This tank took a bazooka round, took a Browning automatic, the crew is still exposed. I don't know how long that's going to last now that they know there's enemy within. Dear oh dear. Well, at least we know Hudson is now no longer unaware. So I think I was viewing him as aware, but just absolutely cacking his pants. Third action round. Okay. All US soldiers are automatically aware. And then, event. Where's the black and red dice? Ah, there is the dice tower. So we have got 1 plus 2, that's event 3. Event 3. Boom, 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 boom. is paragraph 271. There's my paragraph book. I keep moving things around to different sides of my table. 271. Alright. A runner from the battalion HQ enters play in hex A17. Ooh. Use card, US card 08. You may use him as you wish, but he is attempting to reach a squad commander. If rounds are underway, the runner is automatically aware. I've got an extra dude. Let's set him up and have a look what he is. Okay, he's not great. He enters an A17 along the road there. He's K, so I'm going to call him Kendall. And yeah, initiative 1, PC 2, weapon skill -2, movement out 3, driving skill 0. He's armed with a pistol. Yeah, I think I might just stick him in the bush and hope he doesn't get shot, because that's what lost me, Jarvis last mission. But hey ho, he's got a initiative of 1. Wow. So, and obviously he's going to be out of command, isn't he? But he is aware. Yay! Okay, so that was the event. Next up we have the initiative. Okay, bringing the dice tower back. Boom, there we go. Can I win an initiative roll, please? Both zeros. That means the Germans win the initiative. If the die rolls are tied, the Germans win the initiative. Darn it. Okay, so what does that mean for this situation? Let's go and have a look. We're on 0, so we can move the dice tower out of the way for the moment. And we can zoom in a little bit. Right, okay, there we go. Right. So the tank on 0, he has the advantage. He's going to get 2 actions. That's not what I wanted. Definitely not what I wanted. That guy gets 2 actions. This guy gets 1. And last gets 1. Okay, my guys here on 0, they do get 2 actions, but it's after that bloody tank. He gets 1. These all get 1, maybe. If they're not without, we'll have to check their panics. And these all get 1. So, Dylan's in the Jeep next to Bell, so he's okay. Evans, within 2 hexes of Ambrose, he's in command. And Fraser, within 2 hexes of Bell, he's in. So they're all in command. So no one panics, apart from me, that bloody tank getting 2 actions. Not nice. Not nice at all. Okay. And the tank, oh no, it doesn't go first. We have Nickel Gruber going first. Nickel Gruber, let me just zoom out a little bit. Boom. Who's down here? So what's Mr. Nickel Gruber going to do? Okay. Nickel Gruber. We haven't rolled German activation number yet. That's a good point. The German activation number is 5. Okay, so Nickel Gruber with a 5. Condition still, so he does paragraph 822. 822. I repeat it to remind myself as I'm doing it. But if I don't, by the time I get to, where am I? 822. Right. If an active German in same or adjacent hex, crouch and give a turn to the German with the fewest turns. Okay. Both of these dudes only have 1. In the same or adjacent, if 2 or more eligible Germans have the same number of turns, give it to the soldier with a higher weapon skill. Okay, so that's Mateus, who's got the highest weapon skill. If all available have 2 turns, C801. Okay, so he will give his first turn. That's Nickel Gruber, and he'll give it to Mateus, who now has 2 actions. So looking at Mateus, who is in, hold on, so die roll is 5, and condition, so he's on 803. If active target visible, no, because there's a crest line all the way along here, so there's no one visible. Okay, if no active target visible, run into open or crawl into any other type of hex. So he's moving effectively, and it looks like it's going to be a crawl because there's no open, but let's just see. So what hex is he in? Blimey, that's N17, 16, N15. N15. Which goes to M16, which is that road there, and it's a crawl. So that's Mateus completing his first action. Okay, and then we go to the tank. Okay, so action number 5. Remember, its bow machine gun's knocked out or jammed. Still got 5 active crew, and we're on action number 5. So you go to paragraph 901. 901. If one or more active targets are in sight, see 910. One or more active targets. There are 2 targets in sight. See 910. Oh dear. Conduct aimed fire with bow machine gun at closest target. Bow machine gun's not working. Fire cannon at active target in building hex or at an active US vehicle, if in sight. Prepare cannon if unable to fire. Well, cannon's already prepared. If cannon's prepared and no cannon target in sight, conduct aim fire with coaxial at second closest target. So it looks like he's going to open up with that 75mm at this building hex. Oh, blimey, this building hex here. So that's Fraser with the Baz. Maybe I should have moved him out last time, but well, we thought we had an opportunity, and it bounced off. So it's going to conduct aimed fire at the target building. Okay. So this is a 75mm weapon type tank main gun. There's a 5% chance of jamming. Actually, it's a 6% chance because it's 0, 0, 2. These 2 at 0, 0 are actually, as I was pointing out in a video, another video, are actually, it's 0 rather than 100. So it's 0 to 5. Okay, let's hope that the gun jams. 73, no, it's in perfect working order. Okay, so it's a basic 5 to hit. Does it have, with a 5-man crew, its weapon skill is +2, so that's a 7 to hit. Oh dear. Right. It's a 7 to hit. Can't see anything that's detracting from that, other than my wish that it doesn't hit. Okay, 7 to hit. Roll to hit 1. That is a hit. So it hits the building. What happens then? Does it go through the building? Tank main gun. Kills on a 0 to 9, but I think we've got to get through the building first of all. And that is a stone building. Let's see what happens. Okay, I did that slightly wrong. So when the tank fires, I mean, the result is pretty much still the same. when the tank fires, because it's firing at a building, it's firing at the wall, which gives it a +4 chance to hit, which means basically it's automatic. So it's hit the wall. Now we check for penetration of that shell, and on a 0 to 1 it's a medium penetration, on a 2 to 9 it's a heavy penetration. So let's have a look. It's a 1, so it's medium penetration. So it hasn't completely blown the wall to pieces. Heavy would have done that. So medium if the shell is explosive and the tank shell is explosive, so it's firing HE, the penetration surface is destroyed. If non-explosive, right, okay, so the wall is still destroyed. The wall may be the target of attack, and yeah, soldier occupying a hex when one of its wall hexes is penetrated, but not destroyed. Okay, but it is destroyed. Right, okay, if the soldier, yeah, blah, 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 if a wall is destroyed, all soldiers in the building hex that the wall bordered are automatically hit. Check damage to each soldier as if they were hit by a semi-automatic rifle fire. A destroyed wall is treated as a clear hex side from then on. If a building hex has 2 or more of its wall hex sizes destroyed, the building collapses and becomes a rubble hex. Any soldiers occupying the hex when this occurs are killed. Okay, so they're being treated as being hit by an automatic rifle. Okay, so we're looking at Fraser first. Low is good here. Fraser first. Automatic rifle. Okay, oh dear. 8. Fraser is killed. Hudson, he gets a 4. He's incapacitated. Blimey, this is heavy. I shouldn't have stung around, should I? Okay, so Fraser is KIA. I'm going to remove those 2 counts for the time being. And Hudson is incapacitated. Lesson learned, do not hang around when there's a tank, especially when you're trying to hit through the front armour. Fraser, KIA, Hudson, incapacitated. Right, I think we need to really get out of dodge now. That's the tank's first action. Okay, I've got Ambrose and Bell who've got 2 actions. What we're gonna do is that tank, boom. That wall, first wall's destroyed. I don't know how I can mark that. That wall has gone. I suppose we could put a bit of rubble on that side. Man, if that bazooka had hit and, well, it didn't. So, got to learn the lesson. Tanks, as we know, are nasty. So that, I'm going to put that there to show that that wall has gone. Okay, have we even got the time to get the incapacitated guy? It's Hudson, man. All right. Bell's got 2 actions. I really don't want him to be, if he moves in with the incapacitated guy, so he could go 1, 2, but it takes all of his turns to drag. Or is it 2 movement points to drag 1 hex? Dragging incapacitated guys. Okay, so it doesn't require any additional movement. So Bell takes his free stance change. There is a door there. So that's 1, 2, and then drags Hudson 3, 4. Well, actually, I've got to roll for each hex. 3 to there, and on a 0, he dies. Oops, no, and then 4 to there. No. Okay, Unfortunately, we're leaving Fraser behind. He was the newest dude. Okay, so that's Bell. His first action completed. Ambrose. Alright, let's just move that out of the way. Nearly. Move it out of the way for the moment. What are we going to do with Ambrose? Ah, dear, oh dear, oh dear. I might make it sound like the fun's gone out of the scenario. It hasn't. This is fascinating. Yeah, I don't like losing dudes. Never did. But that tank is nasty. So Ambrose will actually give his first action. He'll give it to Evans. Get him moving. So Ambrose comes down. And Evans will therefore get 2 actions. Okay, now Evans, his driving skill is 6, so he's probably the best to take the Jeep. 1, 2, 3, into the Jeep, 4. 3 into the X, 4 into the Jeep. Okay, so he's now the driver. And that's his action completed. Okay. We are now into the second turn. That means the Germans get a new roll on the activation chart. Action number 6. They were on 5, they're now on 6. And again, in alphabetical order, we're starting with Lars. Okay, so Lars on a 6. You must have heard that boom. That 75mm opener. But Lars on a 6, he's doing paragraph 803 still. Paragraph 803. Wow. If no active target visible, which it still isn't. Okay. Run into open and crawl into any other type of hex. So he's currently in hex N15. N15, he goes into M16 as a crawl, so that's as far as Lars goes. Okay, so that's Lars finished for the turn. We then next have Matthias. Okay, Matthias, 803, same paragraph, so he's currently in M17, M16. So he goes to L15, which is there, and again uses all his movement, so that's him done. Okay, which brings us to Nickelgruber. Okay, he's chapter or paragraph 822. 822. An active German in the same or adjacent hex. No, he's already had given them. No, there isn't one in the same or adjacent hex. If no active Germans in the same or adjacent hex, run into open or crawl. So it looks like he'll be going here, but we'll better double check. He's currently in O15. Yeah, he goes to N15, and then that's a crawl. Okay, so they're keeping this crest line in the way. Are they aiming for this building or are they aiming for the bridge? Remember, I've got to, ideally, got to blow the bridge. Right, and then that leaves the nasty tank. Right, so activation number 6, the vehicle. Action die 6, just paragraph 901. If one or more active targets are in sight. Now, is anyone in sight? No. No. If no active targets in sight, see 906. Drive vehicle fast. Conduct snap fire with bow machine gun at closest target. Prepare cannon if not prepared. Okay, so driving vehicle fast. Conduct snap fire with bow machine. Well, it hasn't got a bow machine gun. So how do the Germans actually unjam their weapons? Okay, so I've just checked. When it comes to the Germans and jammed weapons, every time they're activated to fire, they can try and fix it. So that jammed weapon, I didn't do that in its first activation. So it did have its bow machine gun aimed to fire. Weapon skill is +2. So anything but an 8 or 9 and the weapon is cleared. So a 4. So the bow machine gun is back in action. Okay. So that was last action phase. So this action phase, if it gets to fire, it'll fire. I'm just cleaning up the note that said the bow machine gun was broken or jammed. It's no longer jammed. Okay, so we know the activation number is 6. I think it was paragraph 903. I got slightly distracted there by the gun. Action die is 6. Honest. How the hell did I? Alright, so it's action 900. Action die is 6, sorry. 901. God blimey. 901. Which, yeah, I got distracted by fixing it. Right, if one or more active targets are in sight, there are none. If no active targets, see 906. 906, drive vehicle fast. That was it. Conduct snap fire with bow machine gun. That's why we had them at closest target. And prepare cannon if not prepared. So the cannon is now prepared again. Okay, so it does that. So it's loaded. I'm going to put a little red cube next to it to denote it's loaded. And then it moving fast, but if it sees something within 3 movement points, it will fire. If it moves more than 3 movement points, we have to test his drive skill. Okay, so he's currently in G6. Where is this? Be careful with your language, Sibley. I was going to use the C word there. Where is this little chap going to move to? G6. G6. He moves into H6. So he continues down the road, and that's 1 movement point. Okay. Then with him in H6, where does he move then? Into I7, he continues down the road. Now it'll be interesting to see where he goes. That's 2 movement points he's due so far. His 3rd movement point is in I7. So he's in I7. He goes to J6. He does follow the road. Interesting. So he's there. That's his 3rd. Now, does he have anybody in LOS? Obviously not here, because that's through the building. No, that clips that building. So he can't see the Jeep. So he doesn't have anyone in LOS, so he continues moving and can't snap fire. So he's in J5, J6. And he moves into K6, which is here. He'll change his facing. Well, actually, he won't at the present moment. So he's like that. That's his 4th movement point out of 6, which means now we do a driving test on him. Now his driving skill, blimey, is 8. Because he's got 5 crew. Okay, the driving skill is 8. So we're looking at the accident table. With the driving skill. Okay, he's got to go fail this roll first. He rolls a 6. He's got this vehicle under perfect control. You only make the one test. So he's at 4, so where does he go now? That's in K6. We now move to put the paragraph out, K6. He moves to L6, which is the road, so he turns. Oh my goodness! That's 5 movement points. His 6th movement point. You can't fire now. Okay. Blimey. This is what happens when you come without infantry support. Yeah, we're going to run. We want to run from him, but I'm actually now thinking, can we engage him? With the bazooka still in this hex here. But, you know, I'm jumping ahead because, you know, this could be a complete squad wipeout. Okay, so his 6th movement point, he's in L6. Where does he move to? M7. Did he fall in the road? He is indeed. Oh man. That's his 6th and final movement point. He's still open top. He's driving with contempt. And that's him done. And I've got my whole squad to go with one action. So we've got to hit. Now we have Dylan in the Jeep. My little hero. Can you engage a tank in close combat? You know, the crew and such forth. In for a penny, in for a pound. Okay, so this tank, in its arrogance, is still open-topped, as in its crew. I'm going to try and lob a grenade through one of its apertures. And Bell is going to be the person who's going to attempt first. So, we go Bell. He has got a grenade. He has no modifiers to his weapon skill. So, let's cross off a grenade. Right. Now, first of all, let's check to see if the grenade is a dud. 0 to 5 is a dud. It's not a dud. Whoops. Let's put that in perspective there. Okay, should we zoom out a little bit? Move the camera back a bit. There we go. So there's a grenade being lobbed by Bell from here to here. Okay. Now to hit is classed as short range. For a grenade, he's a 5. His weapon skill is 0, so stays a 5. However, it's a large vehicle, 6, 7, 8. Or, oh no, that doesn't apply. There are only 4 possible modifiers for a grenade or satchel charge throw. Okay, so we don't worry about the target size. Okay, so he's on a 5. He's wounded? No, he's not. It's throwing through a non-adjacent aperture. He is, that's what it's classed as. So it's -3. So his 5 drops to a 2. 0, 1 or 2. Come on then. Can I get lucky? No. Bong! It bounces off the tank and goes off somewhere else. Okay, so that's Bell's action. it didn't find an aperture. Oh, but winner initiative next to them. I mean, as I say, in for a penny, in for a pound. Okay. Cornwall will go next. Cornwall has got 3. Now, Cornwall has a grenade. He's got a weapon skill of 0. So, oh, wait a minute. So this is going to be firing through a non-adjacent aperture. So that's fine. So cross off his grenade as he lobs one. So again, the basic to hit is 5. Minus 3. His weapon skills doesn't. So that's not 1 or a 2. Does he get lucky? No. Bong! You know, random grenades going off left, right, and centre. That's Cornwall done. Dear oh dear. Next up then, so in the Jeep. Now, do we drive the Jeep? Just get out of Dodge. Because Dylan, he's only got the Browning, and who have we got driving? Is it Evans? Evans. So we could fire, because Dylan, I didn't give him a grenade. I am now regretting that decision. But I didn't give him a grenade. So he could fire at the crew, but we know he needs a 7, 8 or 9 to affect the crew. Or do we just drive? Because again, we want to get off this road here through to that gap. Well, Dylan can fire and then Evans can drive. So let's do that. Dylan fires. Oh, that's Fitzpatrick. Fraser. Fraser is gone. Fitzpatrick was the previous guy. Alright, so Dylan's going to fire. I'm sure I should have checked for that grenade, see if it was a dud. I didn't. Right, so he's going to take a normal shot, 0 to 5. Okay, so it's not jammed. Okay. So we now have to check the location. No, we've got to see if he hits first of all. So adjacent is 5, and it's large target 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for his weapon skill. So it's an automatic hit. So now we just determine location. It's a shame I can't use the weapon skill to modify the location, because that would seem like the obvious thing, but there we go. So to hit the crew, it's on the side. Okay, it's still 7 to 9. And that's when I roll a 3. Duh. Okay, so he's hit the body of the vehicle. He can't penetrate, it does nothing. And then I check for ammo. He's okay, didn't actually consume any ammo. But that's Dylan done. Okay, Evans. Is there any point going for those 4 VP at the top there? I've lost the scenario, really. I think I need to just get out of town as quickly as possible. Yeah, I don't think there's any point going for those. Otherwise we'll be looking at complete squad wipeout. So, alright, so starting the Jeep. Now the Jeep, I could move it fast. It would then have 9 movement points. So I'm not sure how it costs to turn around, but I'm going to say it costs 1. Okay. Then we don't have to check for paragraphs here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now if I go any faster, I have to check for driving. 6. Remembering these are all in there with it. So we're at 6 movement points so far. Okay, it's got 9 in total. Now I check for his driving skill. So this was Evans, who's got a driving skill of 6. Can't see the dice. 6, he's okay. Alright, so then he goes 7, 8, 9 to there. Okay. So that's 9 to there. So that's Evans done. Okay. Okay, so we've got Ambrose and Gibson and Hudson. Hudson, as we know, has been carried, so he can't do anything. I should mark him as incapacitated. So he's out of the action. Whoops, Gibson is here. Okay, I think we need to try and get into this building here, or at least give him some fire to stop these Germans moving around. So Gibson stands as his free action. Oh, he can take a can, can't he? Can of fuel. Okay, has he got space? He has, so I'm going to put can on him. See if we can blow the wooden bridge. So, doesn't say it costs anything to pick anything up. So, he'll stand up for a free action, move through the window for 2. He's only got 3 movement points though, darn it. He's one of the slow dudes, so he's 2 and goes back into crouch mode there for 3. So that's Gibson. Okay. We've also got this runner. I'm not sure what he's going to be able to do, but if we put him with a pistol sitting here, remember the maximum range is 6 hexes, so he'll go, he's only got 3 movement points, so 1, 2, 3, okay. He could even get into the brush, so he's in a crowd, a free stance change to there. And that leaves Ambrose, the squad leader. What we're going to do with Ambrose? We do not want to be sitting in front of a tank, do we? 1, 2, no matter where we go, he's only got 4 movement. Go behind the tank. Ooh, interesting. I really need to go first here, otherwise I'm going to see multi-kills here. We tried. In for a penny, as I said, in for a pound. Maybe I should leave these on the map with the KIA guy. There's a Baz there. 1 lot of ammo. Who knows? Command control is going to be difficult. We'll run around like headless chickens. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Let's go behind the tank and then free stance change. There we go. Wow. And that concludes this action round. Okay. Let me bring this back to the top. Well, that went for longer than I anticipated. I was planning to do 2 action rounds, and I did do 2 action rounds, but a lot happened, especially with that tank. It does slow things down, makes it a bit more complicated. I'm learning things as we go along. First major lesson, you can't stand up to a tank. That 75mm gun just tore a hole in that building. Taking out Fraser, incapacitating Hudson, and now, you know, I've tried to lob a few grenades. The crew on it, I just thought, as you've seen in quite a few of the films, you know, the crew sitting there with their bold German manic faces, and I've lobbed grenades at it, they bounced off the top. I'm not sure if they should have scattered anywhere else. I didn't want to overcomplicate at that point. It could have done, and it about, the main thing is it didn't drop in the turret hole or the driver's hole, because if it had, there was a good chance that it would have wiped out the crew, which would have disabled the tank, which then gave me 2 more victory points, which then I might have gone for those ones towards the east edge there. I've got Ambrose now coming around the back. Maybe he can pick up the bazooka, fire at the rear of the tank. Swings and roundabouts. We have those 3 Germans we've got to take care of, because it looks to me like they're going to try and grab hold of those bridges, which I've been tasked to destroy. We have got some fuel to knock out the wooden bridge. We need the bazooka, because we haven't got satchel charges. That's why Ambrose is going back to try and take out, well, with the bazooka round. Wow, a lot happened. Tanks do up the ante a bit, don't they? So I hope you guys had fun watching me struggle. I know sometimes I'm going, but yeah, I'm having fun. It's giving me those problems. I mean, the Jeep driving around, get to the bridge, a lot going on. A lot more than what's happening in Mission 2, and I thoroughly enjoyed Mission 2. So this has definitely got me going, yay! And the narrative juice is going, yay! And Hudson can no longer go, game over, man, because he's like it. So, can we take out the tank? Can we take out the bridges? A lot to play for. Hope you guys have fun. Remember, play games and have fun. And until next time, bye, Internet.